It's another week to level up. So let's just jump straight into it. So tonight's question, are you willing to make the same mistakes all over again? Absolutely not. With all of my personal shortcomings, imperfections in life, I refuse to walk down the same roads because those roads only taught me to survive, but ultimately, they all brought me to failure. We are who we needed to be in those moments, but are you willing to change when life requires you to elevate? Personally, I can't make the same bad choices that I made in my past because I've already learned my lesson from those situations and I've already passed all of those tests. So it will be pointless to repeat them because this level of the game right here is about respect, respecting myself, knowing my worth, knowing that it was the downfalls in my life that made my life beautiful as it is. But guess what? It also made me realize that I don't want to stay there. I want to elevate and graduate because going through the same things over and over, that's not just insanity, it's a living hell. So, why would you want to keep yourself trapped in a living hell instead of transmuting all of that energy and everything that's went wrong in your life into a heaven where life isn't just beautiful, it's sustainable? That's up to you to know your worth. It's up to you to have confidence in yourself. It's up to you to believe in yourself. It's up to you to hold yourself to the highest standards at all times. I'm going to give you the perfect example. I used to fear commitment when I was younger, right? I had two girlfriends at all times, literally, since like kindergarten. One was my girl on the block, and the other was my girl when I was at school. But I wasn't committed to either of them. Do you want to know who I was committed to? I was committed to me. And this is all based on what I saw and experienced observing adults as a child. You don't know, you don't do what people say as a kid. You do what you see. So if you don't like what you see when you looking at your kids, check and correct your own behavior because you know what? I'm just going to leave that right there. But my point is this. As I grew up, I didn't like the idea of just being with one woman because I got to see how the closest woman to me used to treat and use men. And I wasn't going to be one of those men when I grew up. So I would keep two and trust neither. Because what I saw in my experience is a woman can lie to your face and you will never know the truth unless she wants you to know her truth. And the only way she just absolutely will not play you is if she respects you. Other than that, it's a game. Ain't nobody special. It's just your turn. It was seeing this type of behavior as a baby that made me lose all respect for women when it comes to giving your heart to them. And I saw these things firsthand as facts. That doesn't apply to all women or where I stand now. I'm just sharing my experience with y'all because real women nourish the hell out of you and they wait on you hand and feet. All females ain't bad. It's just my first experience was horrible. Therefore, I adopted horrible behavior from my experience. This resulted in me acting out in a way to where if something went wrong with one chick, I'd make myself feel good by chilling with that other chick. But be careful how you move because you should never dish out something that you know you can't take in return. So At some point, you're going to get back what you put out in the universe. So be mindful. I used to enjoy living in the pleasures of sin because it made me happy. I didn't care enough about anybody to owe anybody anything. But once I grew up and went through some things and became a man, I recognized that type of behavior wasn't right. But it was a phase I had to go through and things I had to experience to get me to the place that I am right now. I don't live like that anymore. And one of the things I did is I would apologize to these women, like if I was seeing them any place and anywhere by chance, you know what I'm saying? And just let them know that I don't want them walking around thinking that they're not good enough when it was really just me being immature on some little boy shit playing games with them. I hope life is treating them well, and I would tell them to be blessed and receive that forgiveness and return. And it freed me. I developed a conscience of correcting my mistakes and making my wrongs right because I didn't want to go through life doing people dirty. But I fell in love with making myself better because I wanted to be better. I wanted to break these generational curses and bad behavior I learned as a child. I didn't want to keep breaking hearts. I didn't want to base my manhood solely on women. So I started basing it on how I carried myself as a grown man that respects himself in all situations. Don't mistreat nobody and keep it honest. Now, I don't speak to a woman unless I got the intention of pursuing her. I don't ask for nobody's phone number. I'm not on social media like that. I don't even ask a female's name because I'm just cool being with me. If it goes beyond basic common courtesy of hello and have a good day, I just keep it pushing because I know what conversations like that lead to and turn into. And I'm not on that right now. I wouldn't even disrespect my lady like that or myself. So ain't no need to waste their time or mine because I know I'm good. It's only one way to move, and that's righteous. So what I care about is the development of my mind, my spirit, my mental health. It's not until you bring all of these things into alignment with God in you that you begin to become the advancing man I speak on. So the key points of tonight, it was never about having multiple women. It was really about using women as a distraction to keep from facing myself, breaking generational curses and changing learned behavior, facing the fear of risking it all for one person and having the courage to open up my heart, be vulnerable, and have zero fear of being hurt. What I'm speaking on isn't for guys that like playing the field and think they can run from themselves their entire life. Because it's not until they wake up one day lonely with no time left to right their wrongs that they gonna know it's too late. This is for the guys that want to level up and learn to respect and love themselves day in and day out, no matter how this world disrespects them. No matter what you learned as a child, you're gonna shake all of that. Take your power back. Just because your mama and daddy were a certain way, that doesn't mean you have to follow in their footsteps. Be the one that changes the game for the generations that come after you. And don't forget to say this to yourself daily. I love myself, so don't nothing else matter. I choose to advance, so don't nothing else matter. I don't care about my imperfections or my mistakes in life. I want to do better. This is the mind of the advancing man. He chooses to grow up and be the man God intended for him to be. Someone God can trust with abundance. Someone God can trust with all of the good things in life. And he can't be hurt or mistreated by anybody because he's not going to do anything to hurt or mistreat himself or anybody else. He walks in power. He holds his head high in all situations. The advancing man rights his wrongs and he graduates from them. Stop and think about everything you've been through. You still here, right? If you still here and still healthy, why not do the hardest thing that you've ever done in your entire life? Commit the rest of your life, your thoughts, your actions to being the best version of you that you can possibly be. The science of getting rich tells you this will be the hardest work that you've ever done. But if you're willing to do it, you will get rich. And it also tells you you cannot fail. So my point today, y'all, is don't let your past ruin your today. Ain't nobody perfect. We will never be perfect. But you know what we can do? We can progress, we can do better, be better, and feel better about ourselves if we just work at it daily. So know your truth and know that you're worth doing that work. I'm encouraging you. And always give thanks for whatever you got right now, even if it's little or nothing. Just make that decision today. Who I was, what I did yesterday has no bearing on who I'm becoming because today is another day to get it right. And that's progress. If you do that each day is a win. You can't be who you were yesterday, and you can't be who you're going to be tomorrow. Focus on who you are right now. Because if you focus on who you are right now while making the decision to become more than what you've been, you will be that. And I hope that this message helped somebody today. If you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it if you just show me love by clicking the link in the description to buy me a coffee to support the channel. That would mean a lot. My goal is to do this full time, and I can't do that without y'all support. Like, subscribe, share this message. So if you are in that position to help me out, I appreciate you, because when it comes to the Ben Rich mindset, we aiming for that #1 spot. I'm not accepting anything less. So on that note, y'all already know what the deal is if you've been here before. We're going to end it like we always do. All gas, no brakes. Lock in. Peace.